How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. Julie and I are working over here at the Mini Barndominium, and we're starting to hook up the sinks. And something that we chose to do before, as we were building the Mini Barndominium, we decided we didn't want to cut holes through our ceiling and our roof for vents. And so we got out the code book and we started looking through the code book to see alternative ways to vent sinks. And I think we found it, but we may have just got ourselves into a little bit of a pickle with them because we didn't understand how they work or what you had to do to get them in. Well, the only thing that we really understood is we didn't have to cut a hole through the metal roof, and that just gives you another place that it could leak. And we did not want that. And if you guys have been following along with the videos, you'll see where we were putting the plumbing in, and we put a couple of them up in the attic. Those vents are in there on different parts. Well, we want to vent on every single sink in the house. That way we know for sure that it's got plenty of air and our water's going to drain down the pipes good. So today I have a few vents that we're going to be using, different types, and I'm going to show you a little bit about each vent and how they work and what to watch out for if you want to do the same thing. So let's get started and check out some of these vents. Okay, this is our first vent. This is a small vent you can pick up, and it actually has threads on it for 1.5 inch pipe. This will come out of a T, come up sort of like so. This is a 2 inch, you want 1.5 inches, and it would come up and you could screw it on there. One thing I didn't realize when I built the house is they told me to use all 2 inch pipe. Well, most everything you get is 1.5 inches, okay? It's 1.5 inches. So if you got 2 inch coming out, you got to reduce it down to that 1.5 inches to get anything to fit. So this one here, it just has a female end on it. It would thread right on a piece of 2.5 inch or 1.5 inch pipe. And then this is another one. I just used one of these in my laundry room. This is a pretty nice one here too. There is your vent. They're small, there's not much to them. And then you have this piece here. Now this piece here on this one will fit on a piece of 2 inch pipe. It glues right on the 2 inch pipe. And then you have threads on this end, which this will screw right down in here so you can exchange these. If something goes bad, and these are known to go bad too sometimes. If it goes bad, you're able to screw this out and pick up just this piece and replace your vent. And then the last one I have here, I'll show you it, is the one I like the most. I have used this one though, because I needed to glue it in. This one here. Now, what's cool about this one here, I like it the most because it comes with the trap and the vent and the piece that goes into the wall. But don't forget, where that goes into the wall, it needs to be 1.5 inches. Now, I'm not sure whether code tells me I need 2 inch, but that's what they told me they wanted me to have, so I put the 2 inch in. But I paid for that mistake, that 2 inch pipe. This is probably my favorite one to use because I only paid $4 more for the trap and all the pipe than I did for this or this. So I got all of that, and I only got the vents here, but I got all of that. And it all comes in a kit. I'll show you what the kit comes like. See, it all comes in a kit. It fits about any size you can get. The only thing is, it won't go in that 2 inch pipe. And I'll show you what I had to buy to make it go in the 2 inch pipe. This is the piece that will go into the wall. Here's your vent. The same vent that you got in this one here. Same brand, same vent, is the same one that's right there. The same vent. But for, like I said, $4 more, you're going to get your trap and everything. So sometimes it's better just to look for it. I was looking for these because that's what they told me I needed, and that's what I could use. And then I found the whole kit, which is pretty cool. So let me show you where I use these and how my setup is. Okay, this is my laundry room sink. I'm just now starting to hook it up, and I'm going to show you how I set my vent up here. Right here is our vent. Now, I use the one, this pipe is glued on. It's a T, it's a short T. It has threads down in here. I have some thread tape on here, and then I have a reducer right here. And this reducer is where my, this is right where my pipe, my 1.5-inch pipe is going to go on. It's going to go right inside of here. Let me show you. This is how my trap's going to go on. My trap will go in this way, like so, and I will hook that up to the sink, just like that. So now I'll have the trap into here and outside, which is the way I need it. But one thing that people don't understand is how far this T takes this trap away from the wall. If you don't plan for this, having all this stuff hooked up in here, and you got your sink too close to the wall, I can't really get this back any further. I can keep cutting here only so far, but like our bathroom sink is just a little bit different setup. And I'm going to take you in and I'll show you the bathroom sink setup for it. But you got to remember, this is going to take up a lot of room under your sink. This piece right here, the distance. So I got mine cut back as far as I could against the wall. Okay, now I don't have anything attached in here. Everything is just loosely set up, so when I'm ready to glue it together and get everything set up, I know that I'm cut all the right lengths. So as you can see, this is the piece that is in that bag over there. The first one I said I like the biggest one where you get all the trap and this piece with it. And I have it attached to the wall with the reducer back there. But like I said, when I come up through that wall, I wish I would have came up through the wall with 1.5 inches, because if I would have had 1.5 inches, I would have saved money by not having to buy the reducer. People don't realize how much money it cost to get all this stuff hooked up. Now, if you notice my back wall, you see these cuts in here. I had really nice cuts in there. I had this sink set in exactly where I wanted it, and I did it exactly how they told me to do it. And I had to move my sink over by 1.5 inches. Now, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when everything is set up at 1.5 inches, it's a big deal. Just moving that 1.5 inches, because now you see where my sink is setting. My sink's setting there. Well, if you look up at my light, now my light is setting over 1.5 inches. So now I have to go up there and move that light over 1.5 inches to get it centered up with that faucet. If you want that look, you know, if you're expecting a certain look, you want something in a certain spot, best thing to do is make sure when you come through the wall, you're at 1.5 inches, okay? And I would suggest setting the drain offset to where the drain is coming down out of the sink. Have it offset a little bit. I mean, if they tell you they want it straight in the book, you know, you got to be straight. No, you can't have it straight if you want to use this piece back here. Now, if I was not putting that vent in there and I'd have cut the hole through my roof and all that other happy stuff, of course, I wouldn't have to do all that. But if you want to go with this type of vent, that's the best way to do. Put your pipe off to the side a little bit. I could have went over 3 to 4 inches, because this thing will actually go over a lot further. I can go over that far. You know, I can go over pretty far, and then I can cut this off and shove it back. So I'm sure you plumbers out there know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm sure you could do a lot better job than me. I'm not a plumber, but I know how things have to work. And I think it's better off if you set your sink offset to that drain just a little bit, especially if you're going to use an inside vent. All right, that's the first sink in the Barndominium hooked up and working great. We had a little issue, like I said, with lining up those pipes back in there. You can see right there's my air vent, and there's my hoses going up. And what I did is you could see this board right here, that board right there. I tapered the top of it. And if you look on the back of these sinks, they have a little tapered shelf up in here. It's about a 1/2 inch down. And if you cut a wedge out of it and stick your board on there, it'll actually hold it back against the wall. And we have the trap on it, really nice, set up here, easy peasy. It looks good. And no leaks. Well, we don't have the water hooked up in the house, but we do have water on the property, so we took 5 gallons of water, poured it down in the drain, got down there, watched it go down through while Julie poured it. No leaks. We got a good sink. First one in the house. So now we got to move over into the bathroom. We're going to get over in there and we're going to be working on that one next, getting it set up. Have you guys missed Molly? She's back. As you can see, she's not digging no more. They got her all fixed up and she's doing good. So she come down to visit Kevin today, so we're going to work on the bathroom. We're doing the Commode right now. We're installing the Commode. I just got through putting the wax ring on and setting it up. We're getting ready to put the back on it. Go ahead and get it hooked up and throw some water in it and see how she flushes. So this big day, getting the Commode, and we're hoping to get this sink, that Commode in, and then I think that's about all we can do for right now. So now that we got our Commode in, I don't have any water pressure to the house. I don't have that part hooked up yet, but that doesn't mean we can't at least ways try our Commode out and see if it'll flush. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour a bucket of water in the back of here. What don't fit in here will go right down into the Commode. This is how we're going to check for leaks. See if it's leaking. Now we're going to keep pouring. It's going to go down that tube and fill the Commode. You can hear it going down. So now that we poured that in there, everything looks like it's doing good. We're going to check for leaks down under here. We're going to feel around the back of this, see if we feel any leaks where them bolts went up through. And I'll continue to check this throughout the day to make sure that there's no water on the floor or around the Commode. Now our bowl is full of water. I'll show you. You can see this little tube right here sticking straight down from my finger. When that water comes up, it just goes down through the tube and then it will go down into my Commode. So my bowl is already filled up. It already has water in it. So we can flush this and see how it flushes. This is our big test. After all that work we did on the plumbing, digging all them ditches and putting all them pipes in, Now we finally get to figure out whether this thing's going to work or not. This is the first time this commode's ever been flushed. And boy does it flush nice. That's a good flush. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to refill the top and make sure this thing stays full of water for the rest of the day. And we'll keep checking for them leaks. We sure wouldn't want a leak. Now that we've flushed it, we can actually look around the base of it to see if anything might be leaking from around that wax ring. Keep an eye on this. It doesn't mean one flush is going to make it leak. It might take 10 flushes to make it leak. So you want to continue checking this, you know, for a few days. Keep looking it over as people are using it. And so far, we have no leaks. So I'm going to get some more water and fill this back up. Now, one thing about a commode, just because you don't have water in your house doesn't mean you can't use your commode. Just pour a bucket of water in the back here and you'll flush it just like as if you had water. So we actually could use this if we wanted to. I wanted my commode just a little bit away from the wall. I didn't want it up against the wall. I've had a few commodes that were up against the wall, and every time you'd sit on them or if they'd move or something and be digging into the wall, I wanted this commode a little bit away from the wall. Okay, now that I got the commode done, I'm working on this sink right here. As you can see, boy do I have a mess. Seems like every 5 minutes you gotta go to Lowe's and pick up another part. And that comes with any of these builds. You're gonna be making a lot of trips. So I'm gonna see if I can get this one finished up tonight and then get that top. I'm gonna use a 100% silicone to glue that top down on top of that cabinet. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna use silicone to glue this down on the top. That way if any water gets around it, it's gonna stay on the outside of it. And this should hold it pretty good. Now we might get a little bit on the outside edge. We'll have to wipe off, but hopefully not too much. And what I'll do now is I'll just take my top and set it right down on top of there. Line it up the best that I can. I have to be careful because I have the pipe sticking out of there.
Need me to help you there? I don't know how far is it got to come over this way.
That's it.
You sure? Lined up okay?
Yep.
Right.
Now I have a little wooden wedge on the back of that commode. Where it go to?
Right here.
Now this thing was actually wobbling on here. So I'm going to stick this little wedge back in this corner and kind of hide it. And that'll keep the top from wobbling. Nobody will ever see that guy back in there. I think we are perfect. So we just got to let that set up a little bit.
Should we put something heavy on top of it? Or
No,
you think
it's
okay?
heavy enough. It's a heavy top.
It is heavy, yeah.
Is there any goo coming
I
out the
don't know. I
sides?
can't see. Here, take this
Okay.
thing. Oh, there's a little bit.
Just make sure you don't pull it away
I'm
from
going
the
to
wall.
try not to smear it.
Let's worry about the front, but I don't really see any on the front.
Yeah.
You might have just a tad bit on that side over there,
Can't really.
but you don't have to worry about it. Nobody will ever see it back in there anyhow. Okay?
I think so.
Alright. I wouldn't even worry about this side. So I'm going to let that set and dry up, and then I'll go ahead and finish hooking the rest of that up. But right now, everything is lined up and ready to go. Man, we're going to have a commode and a sink, Jewel. So, all right. See you guys in a bit. Okay, this morning we got over here and got this sink all done. It is good. The water supply is hooked up, but it's not hooked up to the house yet. That's still something we need to do outside. But we put water down the sink. We have no leaks. We put a towel rack right there for when you're washing your hands. We're yet to get the mirror. We're gonna figure that one out. And then we have a towel rack over here for when you jump in the shower. And the toilet paper holder is just on the side of the sink. And I wanted to show you guys something. I got the Commode all done. And throughout this whole project, we've had, of all the places, they stick stickers on things. And they can be kind of hard to get off sometimes. And I have this stuff I wanted to show you. This is called Goo Gone. We've used this a lot in different places for stickers and stuff like that. You can use this on your car, different places, right, Joel?
Let me see, what's it say? Wood glue, adhesives, grease and tar. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can use it on. But
one good thing it's good for is where them stickers are. And I'm gonna use some of this to take that sticker.
Those are always hard to get off.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that to get it off. So Joel, if you want to hold the camera.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead. I have a paper towel here, and we're gonna just squirt a little bit on there. And we're gonna come down here to where the sticker is, and we're just gonna rub it. Now sometimes, like I said, them stickers can be pretty hard to get off, but you can see right there is your sticker.
Yeah.
Looks like a little more on there.
Sometimes you gotta rub a little bit hard to get all the glue off. But nice.
Looks good.
Looks good.
Alright, so that's pretty simple. That Goo Be Gone works.
Goo Gone?
Actually, Goo Gone is pretty good Goo Gone.
Yeah.
That works great.
It's good for a lot of things.
So I'll leave a link in the description down below.
Yeah, like in the summertime when you get tar on your car, it's hard to get off. That works good, yeah.
So I'll leave a link in the description down below if you guys are interested in it. Pick you up a bottle. I think you'll like it. Okay, we have all the sinks that we actually can hook up. They're hooked up. We have the bathroom and the laundry room, and we have the commode. The only thing I have left in the shower is to put the fixtures on, and we haven't caulked the seams yet. But other than that, everything's done besides the kitchen sink, and we'll be working on that as soon as we get our cabinets. So our next project that we're going to be working on is all the wire racks. In the closets, we have tons of wire racks to put in. You know, obviously you need a place to put your stuff if you have a closet. So we're going to be working on the closets, the racks and shelving and stuff like that. And we'll have you a pretty good video on that coming up. So I would like to tell everyone thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Until next time.